Sacagawea was born to the Lemhi-Shoshone tribe near Salmon, Idaho. She was kidnapped along with several other girls during a raid in 1800 when she was only 12 years old. Roughly a year later, she was sold along with another girl to a French-Canadian trapper named Toussaint Charbonneau to be his wives. In 1804, Sacagawea was 6 months pregnant with her first child when Lewis and Clark visited their village. Lewis described Charbonneau as a man of no particular merit, but hired him as interpreter because his wives spoke Shoshone. She gave birth to a baby boy, Jean-Baptiste, on February 11, 1805, and had him strapped to her back on the trail to Oregon. Sacagawea was not the guide that most of us know her as today, as no woman accompanied a war party in the Native American culture. She was mainly an interpreter and a token of peace. She even rescued the explorers' journals and records when their boat capsized. They named the river after her. Her husband proved to be, according to Lewis, perhaps the most timid waterman in the world. Months later, near Three Forks, Montana, the group met with Sacagawea's tribe and her brother, the chief. She translated for the group and they were able to barter for supplies and horses, but she was not allowed to rejoin her family. On the way to the Pacific coast, the captains forced Sacagawea to give up her prized beaded belt in trade for a fur robe they planned to present to President Thomas Jefferson. When they reached the Pacific coast, Sacagawea demanded for the right to go with the scavenging party that were going to collect blubber from a washed-up whale carcass. In 1805, the crew started their journey home. Jean-Baptiste turned 1 on the trip, and Clark had grown very fond of the boy. After the expedition, he offered to raise Jean-Baptiste in Clark's hometown. In 1809, they entrusted the boy's education to Clark, and Sacagawea gave birth to a girl around 1810, who they named Lizette. The rest of Sacagawea's life has long been debated. It was once thought that she left her terrible husband, rejoined her tribe, and lived with her children until she died of old age. But it is now officially believed and more or less proven that she died of putrid fever in 1812 at around the age of 25. Her husband signed the custody of his son to William Clark in 1813 and apparently lived to be 76, having at least 3 more teenage wives in his lifetime. Lizette is believed to have died in early childhood. And Jean-Baptiste lived on to be an explorer, fur trapper, mayor, gold prospector, and hotel operator in Northern California. He died at age 61 on his way to Montana to mine for gold. Sacagawea was sensationalized mainly due to the Suffragette Movement and the American writer and historian Eva Dye. Mrs. Dye was looking for women's contributions to American history to support her cause. She wrote The Conquest, the true story of Lewis and Clark, and continued Sacagawea's legacy.